Hey, first of all, I'd like to say, is anyone else more upset about J.D. Salinger than Michael Jackson? Because I've been thinking about Salinger all week. I don't know if that makes me like a literary fanatic or an anti-celeb follower or whatnot, but Catcher in the Rye, man. Can't get any better than that. Also, apparently this week is coffee talk. I had a couple cups of coffee. That is very difficult to say. I had a few cups of coffee before making this video as well, so hopefully it pans out well and I stay on track with what I'm trying to say. And I had someone previously ask me about the echoes, about the sound. First of all, the camera I'm using has a terrible microphone, so I apologize for all of my sound issues. But the rooms that I do film in, I guess, have fairly high ceilings, and obviously not much on the walls, so that could be why it echoes a lot. So I'll try to stay out of the bathroom vanity area so that the sound's not so bad. But let's jump right into the questions for this week. Okay, we had a viewer that's been outed, man, and if you've never been outed, or if you're at an age where you're dealing with coming out, being outed sucks. And you know, everyone that I know or that I've talked to has had it happen to them at least once, so we can all relate. As far as what to do now that you have the 20/20 hindsight is a much more interesting question, and I'm really glad that you wrote in and asked for our opinions on this. Like Michelle said, I have 4 videos previous to me, and they all said fantastic things. Lori, I really appreciated your attempt to rap. I think it was freaking awesome. And AJ and Jess and Michelle had really sincere things to say, and I completely agree with all of them. As far as I made a list. As far as adding my own opinions to the mix, I don't think anyone's going to argue with you that your cousin was wrong to out you. I don't think anyone should be outed ever. They call it a personal discovery for a reason. It's personal. You're the only one that can narrate your life. You're the only one that can have your own coming out story, because it's your story. Period. So in that case, I don't think that what your cousin did is defendable. However, I do think, because your family and because you obviously at one point felt like you could trust him and like there was a relationship to be salvaged, think that you should, you know, question where he was coming from. Obviously, he, you said he was 30, was significantly older than you were at the time in which he outed you. You said you were 16. Maybe he did it out of protection. You know, is your family, has your family had difficulty accepting his identity? And if so, like, was he attempting to protect you or to kind of suffer some of the immediate reactions for you by outing you? Again, it doesn't make it right, but I think that a lot of times people have honest intentions when doing it, and it just goes horribly awry. And I've had numerous situations happen for me specifically because I transitioned, you know, relatively late, I guess, in my adolescence. And so I have a lot of people that know me and that have known me and that have, you know, broken away from my life and then come back, and I live a stealth life, and so they don't really know how to act. You know, they slip up on the pronouns, or they tell someone they shouldn't, and I really don't think they mean to. You know, they don't have malicious intent. Sometimes they just don't know, and I know that's not the case with your cousin, but I think that, you know, these are good questions to ask yourself. I also think that maybe it's a little transference. You know, maybe does he have a positive relationship with the rest of your family, with your grandmother and with your mom, and was it a malicious intent? You know, did he intend to put the spotlight on you instead of on him? Is he the only gay person in your family? the questions go on and on and on. I'm just trying to point out that, you know, nothing's black and white. Everything is very, very complex, and while I think that that family ties are something that you should hold on to strongly and that you should do the best you can to keep, I don't think that just because your blood makes you family. I know that a lot of families will, you know, throw their kids out on the street, and I know a lot of friends that have acted way more like family than anyone that's ever been blood related. So it just depends on your situation, really. It's hard to give you a 5-minute video that is going to answer everyone's question, or that everyone's going to get something out of. You know, I hope that you take bits and pieces from it, just like you would anything else, and I hope that you can combine that with your experiences and make the best judgment call. You know, I definitely think it deserves a conversation, even if that conversation is just, hey, how did you mean it, or hey, this is how I felt back then, and I need to get that off my chest. Because a lot of times, like, if you've held a grudge for so long, especially about something about identity and crisis, you know, you're 23. I think you probably have dealt with the coming out since you were 16, and that you are in a much more personally secure place. And if you are, then, you know, you're probably not as angry about those specific fears that you had when you were 16. You know, you're still angry because you think it was wrong, but not necessarily all the emotion that was tied to it back then. And so maybe you can come at it as just airing it out, you know, and just telling him how you feel and getting his opinion. And if it goes well, then great. You know, I'm glad you had that conversation. And if it doesn't go well, then at least you know that you made an attempt, and you can, you know, sleep easier at night knowing that you made an attempt. Yeah, that's what I have to say. I don't know, grudges are hard, man, you know, because you can't just shake it off sometimes and just tell yourself to forget it, because some things are too big to forget. But if you come across something like that, you've been outed, or you've been wronged, or you come across a moral situation in which you just can't get rid of, then, you know, you shouldn't try to find a way to solve it. You know, there's always a solution. It just depends on what perspective you're coming from. So hopefully that helped. Hopefully one of the videos this week helped. Don't out anyone. Especially if you're in the community, don't out someone, because you know how it feels, and you know the pain and struggle that they're already going through, so they really don't need your help, you know. So yeah, that's my spiel. It's really late because I can't sleep and have had computer issues all day, so I've probably made this video 4 or 5 times now. So if I'm rambling, I'm sorry, but it is snowing outside, and has been. I can't imagine what this summer is going to be like, because the weather has been ridiculous here in the South. That's all I got this week. Catch you guys later. Peace.